Okay, so I just wanted to come back and kind of talk about my predictions for chapter 138 and 139, basically just the entire rest of the story. Starting off, I kind of wanted to just go back on my predictions that I was wrong on my pre-137 predictions. The main ones being that I thought the rumbling was not going to be stopped. I simply could not see how Eren could be stopped. He has this army of Colossal Titans, this army of ancient shifters that he just has at his disposal, and Ymir's fighting with him. He just seemed like an unstoppable force. And to see that the rumbling is actually stopped is crazy. I don't see them just starting the rumbling back up in these final two chapters. I feel like if anything's going to happen, it's going to go a different path. The rumbling's not just going to start back up again. That wouldn't make much sense, I don't think. I just think it's crazy that the Alliance won. And I know there's a lot of controversy on that. With like the whole power friendship thing, and I'm not the biggest fan of that as well. I said as I was reacting to it, like, I don't know about this whole heaven thing. It kind of diminishes the whole point of Attack on Titan, having this dark, cruel world, and you have to make sacrifices to get where you need to be. And maybe it's just for Titan shifters, and once this whole fight is over, they go back to being asleep, which is basically death for them. I don't exactly get how paths works yet. There's some bigger stuff at play there that we'll probably learn next chapter. Another thing I wanted to go over was my idea of Mikasa killing Eren. I'm not too sure on if this is confirmed or deconfirmed. Armin using the colossal explosion, that didn't kill Eren, I don't think so. But my original idea was that Mikasa was going to kill Eren to stop the rumbling, which that doesn't seem to be happening. She may have to kill him for a different reason, I don't know exactly what yet. There's actually some panels I wanted to go over that could confirm the death of Mikasa and Eren. This first one I wanted to go over was a panel from the Lost Girls manga. I think this is actually in the final chapter of it. I don't know if this is canon or not. It was never shown in the anime adaptation of the OVA, and this may just be, I think the guy who wrote it was named Gunsnark. I may even be butchering that name. But this may not even be canon, but I also find it weird how Isayama allowed this to happen. You will be killed by a powerful force. If you don't exactly understand what's happening here, I think there was a scene where Eren was kind of going back in memories, and he was Grisha, and he said something along the lines of Mikasa being killed, and then Mikasa's like, oh shoot, wait, I'm gonna be killed by what? And he says, a powerful force, you'll be killed by a powerful force. What this powerful force is, I have no clue. Her Acker instinct, but that was kind of disproven by Zeke, and Eren kind of only said that to push Mikasa away. So I don't know what this powerful force she's talking about is. The rumbling, the founding titan, Eren, her connection to Eren, I don't know. But then there's another more obvious panel I wanted to go over. It would be this panel right here, where Eren's saying, I would gladly offer my own life if it meant to stop all of this from happening. Which I think is a clear death flag. AIT's done this where they've made a character say something, and then it comes to their death later in the series. I mean, many shows do that, especially anime, but I think this may be a possible death flag for him. I don't think it's snuck in there at all. I think it's very abundantly clear that he's saying he's going to offer his own life and save Historia and save the island. And then that's when he gains the memories as well. So that may be a very clear indication that Eren will die. I know most of the fandom is expecting him to die anyway. A couple more things I wanted to go over. Eren, I highly doubt Eren's dead. I don't think he's just going to be there. He's not just going to blow up with Armin's explosion. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think he's even in the Colossal Titan. We haven't seen him in the Colossal Titan, and I think that's for a reason. There is something that's kind of throwing me off though, which would be that he was above the clouds saying this is freedom. Like he was actually there when he wasn't. And then there's also the shot of him after Annie and Armin on the boat, their talk there, of him being like attached to a Titan, but the skin of the Titan was attaching to his brain in this weird sort of formation. I know a really popular theory right now is that he's on Paradise and he's using the founding Titan's power to control it from there. I don't want to say whether I agree with it or not, because there's a lot of evidence supporting and disproving it, but I also find it weird how no one would see this gigantic cord stretching from the founding Titan all the way to Paradise Island. That's a lot. And I don't know, maybe they just haven't shown it. It also would make sense that the founding Titan has such a puppet-like figure and he's got that string running up his back. It would make sense if that was the reason. why it looked like that, like it was a puppet because it was being controlled. So I think it's very valid. I don't know if I agree with it or not, if I think it's real. And then also, maybe the spinal creature will be eliminated by killing the spinal creature. It may eliminate the 13-year curse, and this was Aaron's plan all along, was to get Armin and Reiner to work together to blow up the spinal creature. But then again, if you blow it up, the source will matter. Wouldn't that just kill all aliens? I don't exactly know what blowing that up would do, but maybe it would end the 13-year curse. It would kill Ymir, but it would allow Titans shifters to live for an average human lifespan. I don't know about that. That's more out there, and I don't know. It was just an idea that popped in my head. And then another thing that I was thinking of the other day is, what if this was all Ymir's plan from the beginning? By that I mean we've all thought that these memories Aaron's been getting throughout the story, like in episode 1, after he touched Historia's hand, were sent by future Aaron back to him to make sure that he goes in the path that he currently is. But what I'm thinking is that this was Ymir's doing from the beginning, because it would make a whole lot more sense. That line that Aaron says for saying, "You've been guiding me here for 2,000 years," that would make a lot more sense. If all these memories were to get Aaron to this point, so that Ymir's goal, not necessarily Aaron's, Ymir's goal would be realized. I think Aaron sympathizes with Ymir, and it also is his own goal to save the people of paradise, but I feel like it was all set in motion by Ymir in the first place. Because Ymir is still such a ominous character that we don't know a whole lot about, even at this point in time, and there's only 2 chapters left in the story. So gosh, they've got to pack a lot of stuff into 138. Hopefully 139 is a big chapter. There's also a couple theories I wanted to go over that are sprouting around the fandom, most of them in Titanfolk. A big one that a lot of people, die-hard AOT fans I should say actually, are talking about is the alternate AU theory, which was a theory posted in Titanfolk, that if you don't remember it, it's basically the idea that these high school AU comics at the end of every volume starting at around 2022 I think are actually canon, when everyone's been thinking of them as just comic, this just fun story at the end of each of the volumes that doesn't have much meaning, like a lot of people don't even read them. But then in a recent chapter, when all the memory shards were showing up on the page, a picture of the goth Mikasa and nerd Armin were in the top left, and people were just thinking, oh, that's cool, it's an Easter egg. But then one user thought that no, this wasn't just an Easter egg, this meant something. And it's really complicated. There's a lot, he goes really into depth on it. It makes sense, like there's so many good points they bring up in there. I'm really hoping it's not true. I don't want this to just be oh, it was all a dream moment, because in one of the alternate AUs that actually happens. Aaron wakes up from a dream and it's like, oh, it was all a dream in the first place. And plus, this wouldn't make a lot of sense for people who watch anime. They don't know anything about the alternate AUs, most of them don't, so it would be disorienting for them. So how I wanted to end this off was basically just saying what I think is going to happen in the finale of AOT. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think it's going to be anything I've talked about. Isayama loves throwing curveballs, and I feel like this is just another example of him messing with us. Because no one was expecting the past Titan Shifters to rise up from the dead in 137 and help the Alliance defeat the Rumbling. No one expected that. And I feel like he's still got something up his sleeve. It's the same deal with the father. Why was this picture of the father revealed like 2 years ago? I feel like it was just to throw us off our tracks and to make us think something when it really isn't the case. I feel like he's really got a big plot twist coming up. The whole Aaron in Paradise is very plausible. I still don't think that's a possibility, but I really think we're still on the wrong track here, and he's got something planned that's going to completely blow us all away. But yeah, that was all I really wanted to go over. So here's hoping that Isayama leaves it off on a high note. I trusted him in these final 2 chapters, man. 137 really split the community, but come on, Isayama. I'm believing in you for 138. So let's end this off strong. Let's keep moving forward.